presentation is on the history of mathematics in India. My name is Angela Weeks, and this is for the course entitled Math 570 with Oakland City University. The Indus Valley Civilization existed in ancient times dating to 3000 to 600 BC. Considerable evidence has been found that standardized measurement, which was decimal in nature, was used for construction purposes. Examples of this evidence can be seen in advanced brick-making technology with regards to building construction and also for flood control. Both literature and astronomy had an important influence as mathematics developed in India. Vedic literature shows detailed descriptions of geometric construction of religious altars. As well, texts have been found that contain the famous theorem linked with Pythagoras. These texts introduce the concept of irrational numbers. Astronomy also motivated mathematicians to develop works related to trigonometry. The time period between 600 BC to 500 CE in India is an era that has been categorized as the Jain mathematics time period. This era is a new topic that is being studied by recent scholars. Jainism led to the ideology of the infinite, and in turn, Jainism led to the notion of orders of infinity, or cardinality. Other areas that were studied and developed during this time were geometry, computing, fractions, and number theory. With regard to India and the place value system, numbers used today can be traced to Brahmi numerals that made an appearance in 300 BC. The place value decimal system was well used by 600 CE. 0 gained the same status as other numbers at about the same time. The time period between 500 to 1200 CE is called the classical era of Indian mathematics. Many mathematicians made discoveries during this time period regarding linear equations, pi, and the quadratic equation. It is also important to note that connections to modern time mathematics can be traced to this era with reference to computation, number theory, and cryptography. The final time period I will touch upon is the modern age, or from the last century. Important discoveries can be linked to Ramanujan, Harishchandra, and Bhargava. Around 1912, Ramanujan's mathematical talents were discovered regarding Bernoulli's numbers, and he began his scholarship to the University of Madras to study full-time. His special talent was working with formal manipulation of infinite series and theta functions. He was later elected to the Royal Society in 1918 and made a Fellow of Trinity College. It has been said that Ramanujan's work set the tone for future young students in India. The work of Bhargava will continue to be a base for future mathematical studies, as he is currently a professor of mathematics at Princeton University. He was born in 1974. The implications of my findings on the history of mathematics in India lead me to wonder about how the century to come will unveil great potential for the continued development of mathematics in India. As an educator today, I am eager to see the continued development of India and the specialists in science and math make their marks in future history. This concludes my presentation on the history of mathematics in India. Thank you for listening.